Okay, we're ready to get started. Welcome to the February Garrison update. A little chilly out there this morning, but everybody made it. As always, we have a packed agenda. Thank you to the Red Cross for providing coffee. Nice little warming station back there. And I will now turn it over to Colonel Lucas.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. We do have a full agenda as usual, so I'll keep my opening comments short. But first, General Valesky, sir, over to you.
Thank you. Hey, good morning. Real quick, I just want to let you know Command Sergeant Major Ferrucci is the new Command Sergeant Major for America's First Corps. He'll arrive on the 18th of February. He's coming from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, as the Command Sergeant Major of the 82nd Airborne Division. For those of you that recognize his name, he previous to that was the United States Army Alaska Command Sergeant Major, so he understands First Corps. I met him when he was Sergeant First Class in the Ranger Regiment, so he's going to be a great addition. I know when he came here to do our transition with Sergeant Major Tagg, he's really looking forward to coming and meeting all of you. So if you haven't heard, he'll be here, and I'd expect he'll want to come talk to all of you and get kind of your briefs and what's on your mind. I appreciate everybody's support. We blew a company out of Hawaii, and sent them to Alaska for an EDRI. So, like many of us who are probably from the South and haven't seen snow, and it's out there, we could have probably just brought them here based on the weather we've got. But it's part of what we want to do to get guys in different environments. And so I appreciate the work that the wing has done and helping us with some training. I appreciate the Garrison's work on SELA, getting that done. So you're going to start to see some of the units at JBLM coming off JBLM and coming on to JBLM that you may not recognize. So I want to say thanks to everybody's help, because that will help us really drive readiness. And our Army is looking at that. I also want to thank the Garrison for their work on getting unmanned aerial system work here. For those of you that don't know, we've got a pretty robust set of platforms to fly. And normally we can't fly them here, but the work that they've done is really good. And finally, I want to thank the Garrison for the great work they did last night. For those of you that tried to go home instead of come to the PMBA piece over here, it was a little challenging to get out on I-5, and the Garrison did a great battle drill, kept gates open, got traffic control points out there, and got traffic flowing. And they did that at the drop of a hat. So Nicole, hats off to you and your team. Thanks.
So again, good morning. Welcome everybody, especially our senior leaders from both Army and the Air Force, and all the command teams that are here, and our great briefers that are going to dish up all this great information this morning. So welcome. Before we get started, as always, we'll start with some recognition, and we'll do a little bit. It's a great recognition, one I'm really excited about this morning, and a little bit unique how we're going to do this. So, is it Jamie? I'm not going to steal your thunder on what we're about to do here.
Hi, I'm Jamie Lynn Bloom, and I'm with the Spouses Club. And today we want to recognize several service members from BOSS. The Spouses Club had to move, which was not a small endeavor at all. We had 3 large U-Haul truck fulls, and these 4 service members came out. They showed up early, they stayed late, there were no complaints, and we couldn't have done it without them. So we just want to recognize them for what they did for us that day. Which one are you going to start? Okay.
She's going to
yep. So we have Specialist Smith, Airman Reyna, Sergeant Dika, and Specialist Birkin.
Thanks. All right. All right, so we can bring the slides up here, and I think we'll just roll right into our some of our hot topics that we'll cover this morning. Libby, are you first? Oh, all right, this is mine. Like I've never done this before.
Good morning, everybody. Major Elizabeth Barnsgate, just an update on for the McChord side and folks that live over here. The Barnsgate will be closed Friday, February 15th, and that is to facilitate some barrier repairs going on there. All traffic will be from Barnsgate. We're anticipating to flex that over to the commercial vehicle gate, McChord Commercial Vehicle Gate there, and it's going to be open from 05 to 2100. That's just a single day repair. We'll be able to wrap up those repairs in a single day, and we'll reopen for that. So that's the first of the gate closures. Again, just temporary, one day. Next slide, we have a closure coming up, a road closure coming up. It's going to affect our gates and travel for POVs coming on and off installation that use transmission line gate. So from the 11th, right now it's scheduled from the 11th of February to the 12th of March. That 7th Infantry Regiment Road, which connects over to transmission line gate, and the ASP over there will be closed for repairs. Will be closed to all POV traffic. The training areas around that, including 7, 8, 9, and 10, will not be impacted and still be open. And tactical vehicle travel, and as well as non-tactical vehicle travel on there on 7th Infantry Regiment Road will be authorized at that time. However, POVs will be prohibited. Monday through Friday, there'll be flaggers on both ends of the road that will prohibit travel from POVs, so you won't be able to access from Eastgate Road. You won't be able to access via POV to get over to Transmission Line Gate. That's going to affect a lot of our Madigan traffic, specifically for you guys over there, and then anyone that's using Transmission Line Gate. The gate will remain open, and that's to serve so that we still have ingress and egress through that gate out to the ASP for tactical vehicles and out to the training areas using that gate, again, for tactical vehicles. So you can access it. The hours will remain the same, which is Monday through Friday, 05 to 1800. It'll still remain open. But if you're coming in, the detour route will take you just down to Eastgate, through Eastgate. We expect, on average, an initial 500 vehicles coming through Eastgate between the hours of 06 and 08. So we're going to have additional flaggers, but again, there's only 2 lanes at that gate. We're just going to continue to try to move traffic through there. The primary detour route is as you're coming through Eastgate, there's that first right there, which is 4th Division that skirts the ranges right there. Take a right, that'll take you all the way around to Transmission Line Road, and you can get back going that way if you need to. And then that's during non-PT hours. During PT hours, 4th Division's closed for a portion of it. So if you go to the next slide, we're going to push over to Methuen Avenue and then connect over to 3rd. That'll take you back up to the Pendleton-Jackson thoroughfare, and you can use that to transit where you need to go. So again, right now that's scheduled from 11 February to 12 March. That's dependent on weather. So hopefully the weather cooperates with us and we get that knocked out and get 7th Infantry Reg Road back open. Thank you very much.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Schoen. I'm with the Financial Readiness Program of DPFR. Army Emergency Relief's annual campaign this year is going to be from March 1st to May 15th. To kick off the campaign, we're going to be hosting a kickoff event on February the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at French Theater. We highly encourage you to send your soldiers to this event. Also encouraging you throughout the campaign to help us reach our goal of contacting 100% of the soldiers on Joint Base Lewis McChord, and also encouraging contributions to the AAR campaign. As you know, Army Emergency Relief is a nonprofit organization that does thrive and operates on donations from soldiers. So we look forward to seeing many of your soldiers at this campaign event on February the 22nd at French Theater.
Good morning. Kimberly Fallen, Military Spouse Employment. I'm so excited. It's a hot topic this year. We are located in the Hawk Transition Center on JBLM North in room 212. I'm going to give you the bottom line up front. I'm going to go through a lot of points here. All these resources and wonderful programs we have for military spouse employment. Excuse me, but I need to be brief. So if anything piques your interest, bottom line is send them to my office and we will get them connected with the correct resources. So we are your career and navigation resource experts. We have full career counseling services. We have brand new laptops I'm excited about. So we have interactive classes now, including LinkedIn, which is a top-notch class, resume, federal resume, and interview. You can register on the link there, the JBLM DPFR time tap. And that is our phone number. We made it fairly simple for you. It's 253-477-WORK. Okay, really quick. Hawk Transition Center houses the American Job Center, which includes our programs and all the federal TAP programs, SFL TAP programs. WorkSource, USO, and Career Path Services are in the building right now. What kind of things can we do for you? If you have any spouses who have not acquired their GED, we can, and by the way, all these things I'm going to talk about are free. We can help you get your GED funded. MyCAA, many of you are familiar with, that's the $4,000 scholarship. Military Spouse Professional Network, which is sponsored by Hiring Our Heroes, is a great networking group. We have mini job fairs at the Hawk Transition Center on Wednesdays and Fridays. We can help we can help spouses get IT certifications, help desk support, Microsoft Office certifications. If you need basic computer skills, such as PowerPoint, Word, or Excel, we have classes for that. We also have a new pilot program going on with American Corporate Partners, where we can match, or they will match you up with a mentor and help you along in your career. We can help with certification funding, such as spouses wanting to go into nursing to get their CNA or dental assisting. We do have that type of funding. There's a lot of other certificates. If you're in a profession and you just get here and you need a specific certificate, come to us. It might be able that we may be able to help you pay for that certificate. Okay. There's a lot of internships and apprenticeships available. We do have spouses who are interested in skilled trades, so we have internships or apprenticeships for that. Internships can basically be wherever you would like them to be. They just have to be vetted through business services, through WorkSource. They have some available, but it is also optional for you to go find your own internship, and then they will pay you while you are in that internship. Onward to Opportunity and Syracuse University offers other certifications at a different level, such as your project management certificate, your HR certificates, APHR, PHR, and SPHR. There's also a customer service track. Again, everything I'm mentioning is free to spouses. And then we have our HOH Corporate Fellowship. Spouses with bachelor's degree are eligible. Right now they have a cohort going on at Amazon. Next slide. Thank you. Okay, we also have services on McChord in Building 100. Monday through Friday, career counselors are available for transitioning service members and active duty spouses. WorkSource Wednesdays in Building 100 on the 3rd floor. They will be there for full counseling services and all referrals. If you have any questions about what to do, where to go, you forget my phone number, JBLM Opportunities Unlimited on Facebook. We answer messages on that all day long. That is also where you can find all the events, and we list jobs and answer questions live. We also have the website, jblmunlimited.com, which is a job board that employers post directly to the job board looking for military spouses and service members/veterans, and it also lists all of our current events. Speaking of current events, coming up next week, is that next week? Yeah. February 13th and 14th, the annual Military Spouse Focused Career Event. Everyone is welcome, however. Employers want to hire everybody, but we want to make sure that spouses know that this is focused on them. February 13th, over at American Lake, from 7 to 9 p.m. is more of a casual event where the employers will be mingling around with spouses, talking about what they do. Spouses are welcome to answer questions. There'll be food. That's always an attraction. LinkedIn professional photos are there. And then on the 14th is the hiring fair, which is your typical hiring fair with booths. Bring your applications. If you need help, come find me or one of my staff, and we will get you to the right location. I know there might be some. Are there any questions on any of this I just threw all at you? Okay, great overview. Again, bottom line, give me a call.
Good morning, I'm Chaplain Brandt, Garrison Chaplain, and just inviting everybody to a special service we're going to have tomorrow, 09:30, at the Four Chaplains Memorial Chapel. 75 years ago on 3rd of February, the USS Dorchester was sunk, 900 souls on board, just about 600 survived, several because of four chaplains that gave up their life vests and clung together in prayer, singing as the ship went down. Four chaplains of different faiths. We're going to celebrate their memories tomorrow. You're welcome to join us, 9:30, Four Chaplains Chapel.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, teammates. Colonel Bunt, Commander, Madigan Army Medical Center, your medical center, basically. Let's go to the next slide. I got a couple tidbits I want to give you today and then try to quell some anxiety that might have been produced by some of the things you've been hearing in the media lately. First of all, good news story, right? No one likes to sit in the pharmacy and wait 3 hours and have to order pizza, right? Those days are hopefully over, right? We're starting some new initiatives. So basically, we have a call-in line now. So if you live in these areas, either around South Sound and the Lacey area, or Olympia, or up in the Puyallup area, you can call this line 3 days ahead of time to reorder already synced refill prescriptions. This is a new effort, and it's 1 week old, okay? So it might go from a 2-minute wait line, you know, at those clinics to maybe 20 minutes, but it's yet to be truly tested. If you want refills and you don't want to go to the main pharmacy, this is a tremendous benefit to you. Please take advantage of it. I've staffed in order to enable this to happen, so please take advantage of it. All you got to do is call the number ahead of time and put in your prescription. Next slide, please. Okay, you might have heard that there is a little bit of a measles challenge here in the state of Washington. The governor quoted it as a state of emergency for select counties. Down in Clark County, which is quite a ways from here, and then all the way up in King, there was one case that was indexed also to Clark County. The important piece here is call. Please call this number if you have any sort of thoughts or doubts or anxieties, again, about this sort of issue. A lot of parents and families do, or they'll have questions on when to immunize. Right? We got immunization staff at all our outlying clinics as well as our main facility. But if you call this number, it's a 24-hour hotline that will tell you what to do, where to go, and how to seek care. Any questions on the measles piece? Okay, all right, next slide. So we have some training coming up. Everyone's heard me talk about MHS Genesis and what a benefit it's been and able to have the opportunity to kind of launch it out here and try to get it right, basically, for 650 facilities that will take Genesis within the next few years. In order to do that, though, we've got to fix some things, right? We got to fix some things with the system. So while most of the installation is going to be do training holidays, Madigan doesn't do training holidays. Madigan does training on training holidays. Our training this time is MHS Genesis, and they're really happy with me about this, by the way. My staff is just all at my office giving me high fives. But this is good stuff, because this has solved some serious problems for us, ladies and gentlemen, right? We've had year-long issues in MHS Genesis, and we've got sprint sessions going on that are solving problems that are a year old, and they're solving them in 24 hours, right? This is the right answer. This is a relationship building, and this is getting together with the headquarters elements that run these components and fixing this problem for you. So what does that mean for you? It's speeding up. They're able to see your stuff in a lot easier mediums and a lot quicker time than they have previously, and that's a big deal. We will still have many operations that are still open during this time, so don't fret that piece. It's just mainly the regular scheduled appointments will be held up for that day in order to give us some time. You're talking thousands of staff are going to be training just like we were about 3 months ago, and we're going to do this quarterly until we can get this fixed, and I got about 6 months on my time hack to get this done. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Okay, thanks. Next slide. PFAC, Patient Advisory Council, right? This is for anyone who wants to provide us some input. These forums are very important to us. We take that feedback very seriously, and we act upon it. Now, unfortunately, the number is not on here. It's 968-5007, So anybody who's ever interested in this piece, family readiness groups folks are highly encouraged to take part. Adolescents that are in high school can take part to kind of hear their issues. 968-5007, Jeremy O'Brien. He is my patient advisory chief, and he can help us with the system. This has already cured a lot of challenges we've had. For example, some of the pop-off valve for pharmacy and things like that come up through suggestions from clients and customers and staff and units and families, right? This is also how we get left to the problem of kids' physicals in school, immunizations, and things like that. And it's really been a huge benefit for the community as a whole, so please take advantage of it. Next slide. Okay, we talked about this a little bit, but the CAC login and piece has always been a challenge. And again, we have some folks that are working on the DS login piece. Let's go to the next slide. And to make sure you call this number if you still have any challenges with any of the DS logins. We're still trying to push and promote the patient portal. It is a challenging instrument, I understand. But all of you know Relay Health, correct? You all knew Relay Health? You're probably wishing you still had Relay Health. I'm sorry you don't have Relay Health. But when Relay Health first came out, it was abysmal. Okay? Just be cut to the chase here. It was terrible. You know, and it didn't work, and it got a lot of bad fanfare. It took feedback from the customers. It took working through the system. These days, people can't live without their Relay Health. It's been a complete switch. This is the same thing that will happen with the patient portal with some nice addendums. We'll be able to eventually do FaceTime. We'll be able to do virtuals, be able to do things on patient portal that you could never do on Relay Health. You could basically manage all your health care on the system after a certain period of time, and you will not have to deal with trying to park in the parking lot or anything like that because you can do it virtually. Okay, so we're going to improve this for you and get it right. Let's go to the next slide. And then lastly, for the commo piece, right? We're big on promotion. So I've got the WTB here. I've got the troop command here, family readiness group here. I've got boss here. I've got my wife here. I said boss, and then I got my wife here. So that makes perfect sense. I got the region here, and I got managed care here. So any sort of issues or any kind of concerns or any kind of questions you have on what's going on in Madigan or things you want to work on and address and fix, we've got the power team in the house here that basically dominating the left quartile of this room. What are your questions? Sir, thank you. I'll be followed by DPT.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Chris Cavan, Deputy Director for DP TAMS, filling in for Buck James, who is waking up somewhere in the U.S. Virgin Islands right now. So, probably in a Speedo, all oiled up. Come on, I'll leave you with that image. All right. All these key events are going to be covered by the following speakers. The only one I will highlight is on the 1st of March. That will be our final personal shred day that we execute. And then after that, we do ask those that have classified documents to now conduct those by appointment. And that's all I got.
Hello, I'm Kathy, Sustainability Outreach for the Directorate of Public Works here on JBLM, Environmental Division. And those of you who've had the pleasure of riding our Go Lewis McChord program, you've checked out our Go Transit shuttle. They run all over the installation every 20 minutes. We are no longer offering night routes, so it is just running 0700 to 1800, and on the weekends, it's a 40-minute stop in between service on the weekends. We connect with Pierce Transit and Sound Transit, so if you want to get off the installation and go up to Seattle, you can get back and forth for less than $10. Check out our GoLewisMcChord.com page. We've got selfie videos that tell you how to do this. We can get you back and forth to the airport. We can get you to the Amtrak station, so you can travel all over. We are pushing van pools, so on your tables you're going to see some van pool incentives. We want to encourage van pool riding. It's really a great way to get around. $260 mass transit benefit program for DoD civilians and for active duty. So you only need a couple of riders to get together, so if you could push that down, that would be amazing. Next slide, please. Okay, recycling. We've got 2 recycling facilities on JBLM. And if you have unwanted items that you no longer need, you've got boxes, they maybe just moved in, we've got a Connex where we store that stuff. Or maybe it's time for you to PCS and you need to move out, come and pick up our packing material in our boxes, save yourself a little time and money. Do not put your stuff, your household garbage in your unit dumpster. Don't do anything like that. We have an environmental investigator who spends a lot of time making sure that people do the right thing. So housing residents can take household hazardous waste. Again, if you're PCSing, bring it down to our environmental services building. We'll take it. The phone number's up there. If you need a large item pickup, maybe you're living in housing, contact Lewis McChord Communities for bulk trash. And if you have any questions, we have 2 recycling outreach coordinators available to assist. So be sure and reach out to us. As DPTMS said, the shred facility will be closing here or shutting down for personal shred days. But shred is no longer going to be recyclable in Pierce County. You might have seen some of those promotions. There's going to be some slight changes to the recyclable acceptance. So pretty soon we're going to be asking you to put your shred in the garbage, okay? So I know it just sounds wrong, but we're trying to work on seeing if we can't capture some of that. But at this point, that's where it's going to be headed. Also goes for plastic pots and milk cartons, anything with wax paper. Next slide. Okay, this is a big one. We're really pushing this one right now because we have a beautiful $91 million wastewater treatment plant, and the strangest things keep coming down the pipes and blocking up the pipes. So those wipes that say flushable are not flushable. Memo to self, not flushable. So we're really pushing that forward, but only flush the 3 Ps, okay? And I'm gonna let you read that one there. Someone asked me if, I work for a pollution prevention program known as P2 program. Someone said maybe we should be calling this the 3 Ps. So P3 program. Putting the wrong things down the toilets cause really big problems. And it is actually people on the other end of that pulling that yucky stuff right out of those tubes. All right, any questions for me? No? Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Nancy Barnes with Public Works Housing Division, and the next spouse mixer is 19 February at the Greenwood Community Center, and it's pay and sip, but it's non-alcoholic. It's actually hot apple cider, and just come on over and they'll do some art stuff and have a good time. Next slide. So pending the budget for Lincoln Military Housing, we're still waiting for the development budget to be approved. So we're going to give you a little sneak preview. Privacy fences is in that budget. Also installing irrigation that some housing areas have never had, and Lincoln will be doing that. And major renovations is coming our way. So those are as soon as the budget is approved, next community update, we'll give you a whole list, and there's a lot that's going to be happening in 2019 for housing. I'll be standing by at the end if you have any questions. Thank you.
Good morning once again. My name is Scott Schoen of the Financial Readiness Program at DPFR. Let's talk about Military Saves Week. Military Saves Week is a national campaign that seeks to motivate, support, and encourage service members and military families to save money, reduce debt, and build wealth. To kick off this campaign, we are having basically a kickoff event at Waller Hall on February the 20th at 10 a.m. Should be a good event. We're going to have 3 of the local banks there, and we're going to be able to actually try and sign up soldiers to take a pledge to save money. That's the whole purpose of this campaign. We're also, as part of the campaign, we're going to be offering classes. On February the 26th, we're going to have a credit clinic, basically teaching soldiers and family members how to take care of your credit, how to read your credit report, and how to build a credit score. On February the 27th at the Hawk Transition Center, a retirement planning and thrift savings plan class. On March the 1st at McChord Theater, we're going to have what's called a $1 Million Service Member, basically teaching soldiers and airmen and family members how to save money and showing them the realities of how you can become a millionaire between your working years all the way up to 67 years old when you can retire with $1 million. And then we're also having an estate planning event on Thursday, February the 28th at Waller Hall. Anybody have any questions?
Good morning again, everybody. Alicia Grady, Director of Personnel and Family Readiness. I want to highlight something that we were fortunate to do here at JBLM. We're a pilot for a lot of things. If you're not aware, we raise our hands a lot to say we will test things for the Army and also for the Air Force. And so we raised our hand for this particular pilot for family member screening for exceptional family members. If you're not aware, JBLM has the largest EFMP population in the entire Army, and of our population of just over 4,000, there's roughly 1,900 of those that are also Air Force families. The reason for that is because of Madigan and the specialized care that they have there, so we do see a lot of exceptional family members here. Part of this screening is, and I'm not going to go through all of this, it will be available on the website, but part of this screening is to make the gaining and losing installations communicate better when we have families that are inbound or outbound that have exceptional family members. This will help the paperwork process. This will help that gaining installation know that you are coming with your family, and we will know 120 days out when you're going to be PCSing to another installation, if that gaining installation has the services that you need for your family members. Because I'm sure that maybe one or two of you may have experienced a situation where you've gone to an installation and you find when you get there that they don't have care, that specialized care that your family member needs, then that requires another PCS move or possibly your family to move somewhere without you. And so we were, like I said, really pleased to be able to pilot this family member screening process that now is going to be implemented across the Army for EFMP screening, but because we are Joint Base and we do that for the Air Force, we will be able to do that for you as well here at JBLM. So if you need more information, all this will be on our website, and we do have our Facebook page here specifically for EFMP, and you can get this infographic that walks you through all the steps that you need to do for better EFMP movement. April is Volunteer Appreciation Month. We will have our volunteer recognition ceremony this year in May. But in the meantime, it's time to submit all those great volunteers that do a lot of work for you in your areas. We have 5 volunteer categories, so they're all listed on here. So please take the time, go on our website, download the nomination form, and please submit your volunteers for recognition. It's really important, and as you know, we have a big ceremony every year with over 300 attendees where we recognize these 5 top volunteers. And I am excited to let you know that we again, for the 8th time, have an Emma Baird Award winner. Emma Baird, if you're not familiar, was the founder of Army Community Service way back in 1965. And that means that a volunteer has to contribute over 5,000 hours of volunteer service. So we're proud that we, yet again at JBLM, have another Emma Baird winner. Exciting. And then finally, I'm going to turn it over to Beth.
Morning. Beth Ellis, your JBLM R2 integrator. And I want to make sure that everyone's tracking that we are starting round 2 of our healthy recipe testing for the initiative to get after the standardized healthy standard menu for JBLM. You want to have a great body and a Speedo in the Virgin Islands? Start here. Take that back to Buck. So you guys may remember in November we tested 12 of the mainline entree recipes, and we're now currently in the process of consolidating that feedback from all of you, taking the surveys, and thank you for participating. And so now what we're looking at doing is testing our short order recipes. So we've got over 20 recipes that we're testing, starting next week, February 12th, with our McChord Olympic Dining Hall. And so basically what we want to do here is make sure that we're getting feedback from everyone to include our leadership, but also please encourage your meal card holders to come out as our biggest patrons of the dining facilities. And we want to make sure that we're getting their feedback so that these are the recipes that they're going to be coming out and trying. Are there any questions for me? No? Okay. I will be followed by...
Hello, Kelly from MWR. It's the quick rundown of fun stuff that you can do in the next few months. Some of the highlights, starting tonight, Texas Hold'em, a 10-week tournament. You can win some pretty good cash if you're a good card player over at the Warrior Zone. And then some job fairs. If there's somebody in your family, somebody in your squadron, in your unit, a family member looking for a job, Child and Youth Services has a job fair coming up. Business Operations, which is our food and beverage folks, they have a job fair coming up. Our aquatics folks, if you have somebody who wants to be a lifeguard, they're going to start hiring now, and we need lifeguards to keep the pools open, to open Shoreline Park for the summer. We want to go out and swim in the lake. So we need those lifeguards. And then I mentioned the Child and Youth Services Program. All of those job fairs are at Eagles Pride, because that way anybody from off base can apply, with the exception of the aquatics lifeguard positions. They can make arrangements, though, to get through the gates to apply for those jobs. We've got a posing clinic coming up for bodybuilding, and then 24/7 fitness is now open at the following fitness centers: at McChord, at Wilson Fitness Center, and also at McVeigh Fitness Center. If you've got your authorization card, you can swipe in any time of the day or night and go and work out if you'd like to. Next one, please. And then these are the options coming up in March and April. We've got another free UFC fight coming up at the club, at the Warrior Zone, at Sam Adams Cascade. Game night is something that we're going to be doing here on base, here in this facility, over in the pub. We are going to bring in some gaming equipment. We'll be playing Super Mario Brothers. They'll be bringing in all kinds of different things each Friday night, playing games. We're not just going to throw Monopoly out there and some Yahtzee and hope that folks have a good time. It'll be a coordinated effort to get folks out to go and play. We're bringing back the Wine and Jazz Festival the 23rd of March here in the club. And then right up above that, the Shamrock and Run and the After Party. Shamrock and Run kicks off the run season here on base. And we always try and make it a big party. We've moved it a little later in the day so that we can get everybody out to do this. To run, you get a commemorative glass, you get a medal, you get a t-shirt, you get the bib, and you get Irish stew and a beverage. And then we're going to lengthen the day a little, bring folks back if they would like to come to Sam Adams, and continue the party after that. So it's kind of a family party up until the late afternoon, and then in the evening, everybody's welcome to come back to Sam Adams and continue partying. And then in April, Kids Fest, big event for kids that are off on spring break. Lots of free activities that we run for them in the MWR Fest tent. We are bringing back the Easter Dash. And then we are also going to have Easter brunch here in the McChord Club. And then one last thing I want to throw out there. If you haven't heard the weather forecast, they're talking about maybe some more snowpocalypse coming Thursday, Friday. And just an option for you, if you've always wanted to try cross-country skiing or snowshoeing, but you didn't want to drive to the mountains to do it, our outdoor rec folks rent that equipment. And so if you just want to do it in your backyard to get used to it maybe in the next few days, that's a good opportunity for you. That's all I've got. Thanks.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sergeant Lim. I am the JBLM Boss President, here to present on what Boss has done for the month of January. So this month for community service, we went to Building 9, which is a homeless veterans transitional located in Port Orchard, and they're moving from one building to another. And so we were able to go up there 2 times to help assist and move their furniture, their mattresses, and their gym equipment. And we greatly helped them out. We're hoping to come back and help them paint their new building as well later this month. And we also helped with the Spouses Club, as we know this earlier this morning. And Boss is always, we love doing community service, and we're always trying to reach out. And hopefully, as every month continues, we'll pick up more and more different varieties of community service. Next slide, please. And then for our rec and leisure and life skills, so this month, we did rock climbing. We were able to bring soldiers out to a rock climbing facility in Lacey, where they were able to teach them the basics of rock climbing, belaying, and bouldering. And then our big trip was our snowboarding, where we were able to take 22 single soldiers out to the slopes. And we were able to rent out equipment, the lift tickets, and lessons for the entire day for free, and got them to enjoy all this fun things with snowboarding. And hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of this nice winter weather and send another new group out to enjoy the slopes. Next slide, please. And so for February, this Saturday, we are going to the International District in Seattle to enjoy the New Year's. Hopefully the snow won't stop us, but weather reports say there's about 4 inches of snow coming this Friday that we'll see. And then we're also doing rock climbing again for our new group of single service members who haven't had a chance to go on our first trip as it was completely full. And snowshoeing. We're gonna have our good friend Bruce, who's a guide, who will help us take those snowshoes, go up to the mountains, and explore out there. And all of this is free to our single service members, so we would greatly appreciate we get to see everyone who's new coming in and anyone who haven't even had a chance to try it. We always love to see new faces at our events. Thank you.
Okay, a couple of announcements for your spiritual resiliency efforts. We got a couple of programs that kicked off again for the new year, the Protestant Women of the Chapel, New Year's programs. They meet, it's one program, but they meet in 2 locations. On Tuesdays, they meet out Lewis North Chapel at 0930, and on Thursdays, they meet at the McChord Chapel Support Center, Building 174. So if you'd like to partake in those events, please come on out. Also, a reminder about our Faith and Family University Night. We've got Awanas for the kids if you want to drop your kids off and let them build some spiritual resiliency. And at the same time, there's some adult Bible studies that are ongoing at both locations as well. Again, McChord and at the Main Post Chapel. Next slide, please. We've got a couple of events coming up. In March, is the Lenten season is coming upon us pretty quick. So Ash Wednesday, it's going to be held in 3 different chapels. There'll be service with imposition of ashes. If you're interested, the Catholics will meet at McChord Chapel 2 and Lewis Main Chapel, and then Protestants will be over at Soldiers Chapel on those times. Next slide. We'll also be looking forward to Easter Sunday, and we'll have Easter Sunrise service. So that's for those who like to get up early in the morning and just watch the sun rise on that glorious Easter Sunday morning. You're invited to join us for that. One other announcement, Protestant Main Post Chapel is hosting a movie night on the 22nd of February. That's a Friday night, 6:30, and they're going to be showing the film Indivisible, if you're interested in that. It's a true story about an Army chaplain and his family as they deal with the realities of war and coming home from war and dealing with the family issues on that. So faith in action. So if you'd like to come and join us for that, 6:30 on the 22nd. Also on your table, I've included a little card that is our web address and Facebook address. Has all of our activities for all of our different faith groups. We have 40-some different programs that we offer throughout the week. We've got the major faith groups covered, the minor faith groups covered. So if you need something, there's an opportunity to help meet those spiritual needs for you. If you have any questions, please come and ask. I'll be glad to help you along that way. Next.
Good morning. Mike Cruz from McChord Commissary. Once again, both Lewis Main and McChord Commissary for Valentine's Day will be having special flowers for that special person in your life, and there'll be chocolate-covered strawberries and other things going on. Next slide. Once again, the scholarship will be ending on February 15th, next Friday. And again, this scholarship is only done online. No scholarships will be accepted in the store. So if you haven't done it yet, you have a week and a half to get those in. That's the last slide. But also at the last minute, we was just told about Coca-Cola is also doing scholarships. It's online. And if you tell your story, your service story on there, and it's done uniquely, it's done on Instagram and Twitter. You can send a 2-minute video, but you can also win a $5,000 or a $1,000 scholarship. So go to coca-cola.com website, and it'll tell you all the facts on that. Any questions? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Tim Adams. I'm the operations manager at your McChord main store. I'm here to give you the exchange updates for JBLM. You might have noticed at McChord, the pizza place is now closed, and that's going to be replaced by a Freshens. It's coming soon. We don't have a definitive date on that yet. but that will give us some more healthy options in the food court there. The exchange is recognizing Black History Month at both the Lewis and McChord store. That will feature the Grace Gospel Music Ministry this Saturday at McChord at 2 o'clock, and next Saturday at Lewis at 2 o'clock. There will also be a cake cutting ceremony at McChord. That's going to be Tuesday, 12 February at 11:30, and Saturday at Fort Lewis. If I could have the next slide, please. In Love with Makeup Beauty event. That happens this Saturday, February 9th. There's also going to be a Valentine crafting for kids there at the same time. This features 2 beauty coupons that are good all week starting Friday for $5 off a purchase and $15 off a $60 purchase, and there's free gift with purchases and different types of beauty events going on. Valentine's is in full force at both Lewis and McChord. We recommend that you order your Valentine flowers early at the flower shops. There's 3 locations, one in Lewis, one in McChord, and at the Madigan Hospital. And next slide, please. And we have the new hair studio under new management at both Lewis and McChord. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 o'clock, but they are closed on Sunday. Appointments and walk-ins welcome. I will stick around after this. If you have any questions for me, I'll be right over here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jamie Lynn again with the Spouses Club. Couple quick things. Our next luncheon is next Wednesday at the Olive Garden in Lakewood. So I think that our reservations close on the 8th, so we have a couple more days if you want to come out and have lunch with us. So as I mentioned this morning, we have moved out of our building, the old schoolhouse. We are now over, we're on North 23rd Street. If you don't know where that is, there's some old Army barracks. That's where we are. I mention that because that's where Operation Deploy Your Dress is. We don't have dates for February yet. I expect them soon. That was a pretty big endeavor to move that. And so we are just waiting to get all our dresses rehung and racks and all that, and then we'll have dates for that. I know we have some balls coming up. And also in that building, it's 6226, is LCSE Event Rentals, because I know we have a couple more balls coming up. If you need some decor, that is up and running. We will have Facebook pages for both of those. You can find us there. And then lastly, our ACE night is coming up March 22nd. This is our largest fundraiser of the year. It's Derby night themed. We are still very gladly accepting unit donations. As I mentioned, it's our largest fundraiser, and so one of our largest benefactors from ACE Night is the Fort Lewis Family Scholarship Fund, and you have a flyer on your table with more information about that.
Hey, good morning. I'm Rick Souza. I'm a volunteer with your Lewis McChord BSA programs. A couple quick things you see on the board up here. March 9th, our Troop 62 is celebrating 100 years of scouting right here serving our Lewis McChord community families. 8094 NCO Beach Road, that's down the street from American Lake Conference Center. We're going to have food, bouncy houses, all sorts of awesome fun stuff. So everybody, you soldiers, yourselves, your families are welcome out. I'm also going to put a shameless plug in here too. Our BSA programs, Cub Scouts and troops are all looking for members, youth and adult volunteers. If you're interested, I'm in the table in the back. If you want to know about our programs, want to volunteer, just come talk to me.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Wiedemann, and I am the DHA Usability Lab Manager here at JBLM. I want to give you a little bit of information about what the Usability Lab is, why it's important. Can you go to the next slide for me? The DHA develops a lot of really cool mobile apps and software for military members with behavioral, health, clinical, healthcare needs. Some of these you may be familiar with, T2 Mood Tracker, Breathe to Relax. These are some of the more popular ones. All of these are designed with the military user in mind. But how do we know that the military users are getting the most out of them, that they're valuable and usable? Next slide, please. That's why the Usability Lab exists. We are here to take the opinions and critical feedback from military members on these items and others for mobile apps, software, web pages, and printed works. That feedback that they give us is then incorporated back into the apps and software to make the best product possible. This is the hardest part, is getting volunteers in to come test this stuff for us, but it's a hugely critical part in app development and sustainment. If you come visit us at the Usability Lab here at Old Madigan Annex, can you show the next slide? There's a short video here that kind of shows through the process. Can you click on that video embedded there? Hopefully that'll work. Okay, hopefully there's some sound. Anyway, so it's depicting the process that military members who come in. There we go.
Your honest feedback is one of the most valuable things you can get. And it only takes half an hour of your time. All feedback is private and only used internally by DHA, so tell us what you think. Come participate in a DHA Usability Lab evaluation and help make an idea a reality.
So the process is pretty fun. It's really simple. It's a great and unique way to volunteer. We really need people to come use this stuff to make these apps better for the end user, which is you guys. So if you are a command leader, you're in charge of people who are looking for volunteer opportunities, the Usability Lab is here. We're just down the road. And anything that you provide is going to go to benefit members who participate in military healthcare. Finally, if you're interested, if you're a healthcare provider or you're an individual who's looking for DHA apps to help support your needs, your health needs, Brian Smith is a senior trainer with our education training department. His whole job is to help you understand what apps are out there, how to best use them. If you have any questions, if you want to volunteer or know more about the apps provided by DHA, come visit me. I have a table right over here, Usability Lab table. All right, thank you so much for your time.
All the great information that you've put out today. As always, it's packed full of information, and I really appreciate everyone being here to hear what we have. As you see, the next community update is the 6th of March at Nelson Rec. Spread the word. Please remind everybody that it is recorded as well so that you can use it, the slides and the video in FRG meetings and those kind of things to help get the word out. So just a couple of things I want to cover here before we close. So first of all, if you live in housing, you got a survey about your summer PCS. Please fill that out. We really use that to make sure we manage the summer transition in all of our neighborhoods. So you should have gotten it from your neighborhood coordinator from Lincoln Military Housing, but that helps us manage this transition. I know we have a lot of moves coming up for the summer, so please, I did it. It takes 3 minutes. And I'm usually the last to complete those things. Whoever brought up the weather, you're fired. I was hoping that no one would notice that looks like there is some more snow coming. So we'll watch that closely. We'll communicate. Just a quick, I'll do this quickly because I know we want to wrap up here, but just a quick reminder, the Joint Base Garrison have a pretty detailed process that we use to assess what the incoming weather looks like and what the impact's going to be. It's based on input from all the units. That result of that process is a recommendation to both Army Senior Commander, the Wing Commander, as well as Madigan. So if we need to, on a duty day, we'll walk ourselves through that process and make those recommendations and communicate what it's going to mean for the installation. You can always call our phone line that has the road conditions. That number is 967-1733. The Joint Base Operations Center updates that line as soon as we have a change to the road conditions, so you can always call that line and get the information. The Joint Base Lewis McChord website is also as up to date as we can keep it. And then we do push, that's kind of our official comms, but we do push everything on social media, so Facebook, Twitter, as well as our official communications channels through ad hoc from the Joint Base Operations Center into unit command posts as well. So we'll do our best to communicate as the next round of weather comes in based on senior commander input, as we move into those. But we're always interested in your feedback because, we can look at the installation and try to, do the best to keep it running, but as the users of the installation and all of your soldiers and airmen and civilians that are out there. We'll take your feedback all the time. So please keep pushing it in any way you want to do it. ICE, email, phone call. Lots of Facebook posts. We love those. But seriously, keep that stuff coming because we will, if we can adjust to it, we will do it. So last thing, a little bit of bittersweet for this community update. Some of you may know that JBLM is going to say goodbye to the Claibornes this month. So Kenny and Sandy Claiborne are headed to Fort Knox. So this is his last community update. So we'll do some farewells and say our goodbyes. The change of responsibility is the 19th of February at 1000 hours. You are all invited. It's at French Theater where we'll welcome Command Sergeant Major Marble and say goodbye to the Claibornes. So because it's your last community update, I'm going to let you close us out.
Hey, so if you guys know me, I'm just going to double down real quick and use this opportunity to talk about two things that are really important to me that we talked about here today, and that's nutrition and fitness. And why I bring this up is those two taste testings we're going to do at the DFAC, that's really important. So for command teams in here, if you could at least get your boss reps out there, that would be key, right? Because I tell you, I go to them, and I also fill out the surveys, and I can eat chicken breast, brown rice, and broccoli every meal, right? So if you don't come out there and get your input in, that's what you're going to end up with, all right? Next thing is 24-hour fitness. Now, I know the installation was closed and we were on a delay, but I'm telling you guys right now, the 24-hour fitness at those 3 locations they mentioned was open during the delay. So if you're registered for that program, I was in there the morning we had the delay, and there was about 80 service members in Wilson Fitness working out. So that program directly reflects the readiness that we get trying to get after all the time. So get registered for that program. When installation's closed, those things are still open. It's a big deal. It really help you out, all right? And then, finally, just for me and Sandy, we really appreciate the warm welcome that we've had here in the 15 months we've been at JBLM. When I look around this room, I just think about all the great partners and everything you guys do in here daily for all of our service members. Selfishly, because we live here, we get to take advantage of those things as well. But I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best communities in the Army, and I thank you all very much for the 15 months that we spent here with you. So thank you.
All right, thanks. Have a great month.